What is up, my fellow creeps? Now, there are a lot of horror games on the horizon, but a few of them really stood out to me. Not just because they look terrifying, but because they actually seem to be doing something different. So I wanted to go over a few upcoming horror games that have caught my attention lately, ones I think are worth keeping on your radar. Let's get into it. First up is Unmourned. It's a first-person psychological horror game that looks like it could fit comfortably next to titles like Visage or Paranormal HK. You play as Jason, a guy who moves into a house that clearly doesn't want him there. What I like about Unmourned is how it's not just relying on jump scares. It's got a random event system, which means paranormal activity changes every time you play. No two experiences are exactly alike, and that keeps the tension alive. There's also a sanity system that ties directly to how much time you spend in the dark. The longer you're there, the worse things get, not just visually but emotionally. Add in the night vision camera and the use of photography to reveal hidden details, and it's clear this game is going for that uneasy realism that I love in slow burn horror. It's definitely one of those games I can see myself playing late at night and immediately regretting it. Next is Sleep Awake, and honestly this might be one of the most unique horror concepts I've seen in a while. It's coming from Blumhouse Games, which already tells me it's going to have some serious atmosphere. You play as Katya, living in the last city on Earth where sleep equals death. If you fall asleep, you disappear into something called the Hush. That idea alone is terrifying. We've all had those nights where we're fighting to stay awake, but this game takes that feeling and turns it into survival horror. The visuals are wild. This mix of live action, FMV, and these almost dreamlike psychedelic environments that blur what's real and what isn't. It's being led by Corey Davis, who worked on Spec Ops: The Line, and Robin Fink from 9 Inch Nails is handling the music, which feels like the perfect pairing for something this surreal. This one looks like it's going to be more of a trip than a game, but in the best possible way. Dark, emotional, and a little bit hypnotic. Alright, so Darkwebstreamer is something else entirely. This might be one of the most ambitious horror sims I have ever seen. You play as a content creator trying to make it big, streaming creepy stuff from the dark web, and things obviously start to spiral. What really hooked me is how dynamic everything seems. Every playthrough is unique, random websites, NPCs, objects, even supernatural events. It feels alive in this chaotic, unpredictable way. It's not just about managing your channel. You're managing your sanity, your relationships, your apartment, even your possessions can become haunted. The fact that it integrates with Twitch and YouTube Live is insane to me. Your chat can actually appear in your game, influencing what happens and how you react. That is such a clever way to blur the line between real streaming and in-game streaming. It looks messy, dark, and genuinely original. If it pulls off even half of what it's promising, this could end up being something really special. Then there's Paranormal Tales, which immediately grabbed me the second I saw it. It's a found footage horror experience where you play through multiple scenarios, each one told through a different recording. Body cams, phones, VHS tapes, each gives you a completely different lens on the horror. The visuals are stunning. It's running on Unreal Engine 5 and is pushing for this hyper-realistic look that almost feels too real at times. If you've ever watched VHS or played the Outlast Trials, imagine that but stripped of the gamey stuff. No HUD, no indicators, just raw immersion. This is the kind of horror I love. Grounded, unsettling, and believable. The kind that crawls under your skin because it feels like something that could happen. Definitely one to wishlist today. And finally, I hate this place. This one has a totally different tone. It's more stylish and retro, but that's exactly why it stands out. It's based on the comic series by Kyle Starks and Artom Toplin, and the developers have captured that bold 80s comic book look perfectly. You play it in an isometric perspective, scavenging and surviving across a cursed ranch. During the day, you're exploring, crafting, and upgrading your base, but when night hits, the monsters come out. The longer you survive, the more intense it gets. I had a chance to jump into the demo of this game, and man, did it hook me in fast. The style just pulls you right in, down to the sound effects popping up on the screen. The weapon feedback feels great, and I love that you can decide when to go stealthy or just go loud. The crafting system is super intuitive. You're constantly finding enough resources to keep things moving, and the light survival elements like keeping up with food and health hit that sweet spot. Out in the field, everything feels streamlined and intense, but when you're back at the ranch, it slows down in the best way, almost cozy. You're building, crafting, prepping for your next run, and it creates this perfect rhythm between chaos and calm. The demo missions are fun, and the story does just enough to pull you in without giving too much away. It's not trying to be the scariest thing on the list, it's trying to be memorable, and from what I've seen, it's absolutely doing that. So those are the 5 horror games that have really caught my attention lately. Each one does something different. Unmourned hits that psychological nerve, Sleep Awake feels like a fever dream, Darkwebstreamer dives deep into modern internet horror, Paranormal Tales brings found footage to life, and I Hate This Place just oozes style. If horror is your thing, there's a lot to look forward to. Let me know which one you're most excited about, or if there's one I missed that deserves a mention. And if you want more horror news and deep dives, like and subscribe to our channel. Stay creepy, my friends. That is all I got for now.